Okay, go.
Ready? Good morning, everybody. Andy Ross here, Mr. Health Insurance in Nevada, our weekly nationwide program of America's Health Insurance Today. Excited to be here as always. Hope everybody had a great week. We're on KLAV radio, again nationwide, talking to America about health insurance. That's what we do. We answer questions and answers from all over the country that come in via email. So keep the emails coming. Again, the email is Andy, A-N-D-Y, R-O-S-S, at cox.net. That's Andy Ross at cox.net. Again, welcome to the show. Another in a series of many, America's Health Insurance Today, where we educate the nation. Our first email question today is, what are the best plans for my children? I have a son, 7, and a daughter, 9. That's a super question. It's a general question, and I can give a general answer. I can give a specific answer. Let me just say that for children, you want to get plans that are low in deductible. And the reason is that the spread in premium between a low and high deductible are so close that it's in your best interest to maybe spend an extra $30, it varies from market to market, and get what I call a Cadillac. So the reason is for the kids, you want to have doctor visits, you want to have preventative care. If you can find a plan that also includes emergency room or copay for urgent care, that's a good thing too. Younger children, 1-year-old, as long as we're on the subject, infants, you want preventative care because they're shot, so that becomes more meaningful. So again, to recap the answer to that question is low deductible PPO, so the kids can see anybody, any hospital, any doctor. And again, the spread in premium between a low deductible and a high deductible is so narrow that you'll want to go with that lower deductible. Anyway, next question. Andy, love the show. Thank you. I do not understand 80-20, 70-30. What does that mean? Will I owe $30,000 on a $100,000 doctor bill? I'm confused by the entire subject. That's a good question. That question comes in. I've gone over that before because it does come up and it is confusing. People think, and they come to me in my business and they say, Andy, I don't want one of those 80-20s or 70-30s. And the reason they say that is that they think that they're going to end up paying 20 or 30% of a huge bill. If it was $100,000 on an 80-20, they're thinking is I can't come up with $20,000 or $30,000. So the key is that there's a max out of pocket. So 80-20 and 70-30 applies to coinsurance. What coinsurance is it's the difference between the deductible and the max out of pocket. Every plan has a max out of pocket, so that is your exposure. So the difference on an 80-20 and a 70-30 is a $100 bill as it pertains to coinsurance. So if a bill was $2,000 and the deductible was $1,000, on an 80-20, you owe 20% of the next $1,000, so the bill would be $1,200. If it was a 70-30, it would be $1,300. And your max out of pocket is $2,000, that's your stop loss. So when people come to me and say, hey Andy, I don't want one of those 80-20s or 70-30s, I say, what do you think that means? And then it gets quiet, and then I educate. So anyway, 80-20, 70-30 doesn't mean anything. It adds up to very few dollars as in relation to the being covered for $2, $3, $4, $5 million. So don't worry about the 80-20, 70-30. The key to that question is find out what your max out of pocket is. That's the key. And be comfortable with your premium from month to month. And then ultimately, understand what your max out of pocket is. I always say this, is that people come to me and they go, Andy, which company is better? And we only represent the major league health insurance companies, and that's what I advocate. And they say to me, I don't want to do the wrong thing, and pick the wrong insurance. And I say, you can't do the wrong thing. The only wrong move you can make is not getting health insurance. That's a wrong move. As long as you get health insurance, they'll always work with you on your deductible. Remember, the deductible is a fraction of what the coverage is, the benefit, $2, $3, $4, $5 million, depending on the market and the plan. So the deductible is insignificant. You have insurance. They're going to get you into the hospital. They're not going to bat an eye because they know the big number's covered. So, I always say the only bad move is not having major medical health insurance with a household name. And then, without politicizing too early this morning, let me just say you're talking to one man that believes that children should be insured. Everyone should be insured without question, but I think children should be. It should be illegal to not have children insured. That's my feeling on that subject, and I really don't think that I'm far off because when I get customers coming through and if they're divorces and whatever, the judge always says, don't come into my chamber, don't come into our courtroom without. So they scramble to get health insurance for the kids. We're closing in on going to a break. A couple more seconds. We're going to cut out for a commercial message, and we're going to be doing that in a couple of seconds. And then when we come back, we'll be going back to a lot more questions. Anyway, we are on KLAV Radio. Andy Ross, Mr. Health Insurance in Nevada, Americans Nation Health Insurance Today, and we're going to break for a commercial, and we'll be right back. Thank you.
Clear.